you like Marmite?
No, absolutely disgusting.
You're so annoying.
Hi guys, I'm Stevie and I have lived in the UK for 2 years now. We just hit my anniversary. I can't even believe it. I feel like it kind of feels like I've only been here 6 months, but also 17 years at the same time because it's been in COVID years, you know? So I just wanted to answer some of you guys' questions, tell you how I got here. Maybe you're considering moving to the UK and you kind of want to know what my experience has been like. First of all, not sponsored. This is just literally my favorite British junk food. I've got my British wife behind the scenes looking up your questions, and she's basically choosing the question that you guys have sent me on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. Favorite thing about UK food, better regulated.
What do you mean?
There's things in American food that are illegal here because they kill you. Yeah, corn syrup is illegal here. Yeah, that's really my only favorite thing about British food. That's not actually true because Indian food here is absolutely amazing, but is it British? Guys, I can eat like the entire thing. I just eat the whole thing.
What was your biggest cultural shock?
General lack of efficiency. Just like no sense of urgency. It's like when people aren't terrified that they're going to like become broke and homeless at any point. What did you just steal? Hey. Gumbo was just walking away with my wrapper. When I first got here, I was extremely entitled American who talked at about 20 fucking decibels. Is that high? I talked at like volume 10 at everything. Americans just scream all the time and everyone around me was like jumping. That's the only time I could ever like get some life out of British people is if I just like screamed. You need something and then you're lucky if you can get it in 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Just maybe it's because of the places that I lived in the US were just very like quick, fast-paced cities where, oh, you need a plumber, one will be there in 30 minutes. Versus here where it's like, well, there's a bank holiday and then I'm booked and then yeah, so I'll see you in July. Along comes lots of laws and paperwork and bureaucracy just in general in England. So I usually have to kind of remind myself if something is like difficult or there's red tape or it's taking a long time, I have to remind myself that that's because I live in a country that values paid time off and maternity leave and shorter work hours and sick days and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm much more relaxed now. I'm much more chill and much more quiet than I would have been before. And Josie's looking at me in disbelief, but we didn't date for that long before I moved here, okay?
How is British TV?
British TV is way better than American TV. It's absolutely amazing. I love that it's not all supermodels. Like, I feel like in the US, everything is like very traditionally attractive people, at least in reality TV, but even in stuff where there's presenters and stuff, a lot of people look different from each other. There's another person asked if we're ever gonna go on Couples Come Dine With Me, and I would absolutely love to. If you guys know anyone there, let me know. I would love to throw a dinner party for a reality show.
What are some words and expressions that you find funny in England?
What you on about? Is that a really good accent? Did I do a really good job, guys?
It's funny how you've lived here for like 2 years and your British accent still hasn't improved.
How dare you? What are you on about? What's she on about?
What's something that you didn't expect to miss about the US, but you actually do?
Yeah, customer service. Anytime I have to call the US for customer service, after I hang up the phone, I'm like, oh, that was wonderful. But then I have to remind myself that it's because you can get fired for being rude in the US and you can't get fired for being rude here, right? Like you can't get fired for not being overly nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I miss pickles. American pickles.
Yeah.
Ugh, I've had to import them. But here, there's no such thing as sour pickles. There's only sweet pickles or sour and sweet pickles.
Is there anything that you thought wouldn't be different but is?
So many things. Like almost every day I find a new different thing. Oh my God. If you order a package, you have to open the door and say thank you and wave at the person, or they will take it back on the freaking truck and drive away. Or they will leave it with your neighbor. What? I hate that so much. I put it in all the notes, leave on front door, leave on front door, leave on front door, like everything. And then I refuse to answer the door. Like if a package gets delivered, I'm like, I'm not answering the door. I will just go like this and then point down, leave it on the doorstep. Because that's what the freaking notes say.
They have to have rules that they stand by, right? And one of them is probably to make sure that the person gets the package.
Yeah.
You don't leave it on the step.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying it's different from America and I hate it.
What is the most British habit that you've started doing?
I'm just generally more relaxed. Another British thing I do is I don't pay for my medical care at the point of service. I pay for it in my taxes, which is pretty great. Oh, I have milk in my tea now, which is wild. Oh my God, I can't believe you didn't know that that was a British thing to do.
No? Why did you choose the UK?
Because that's where the love of my life lives. I mean, I've never been to anywhere else in Europe, so, except for that one time I went to Paris. But you guys already know that story. We won't bring that up again.
We don't talk about that, do we?
We don't talk about Paris, no.
What about the humour do you find different?
What about the humor do I find different?
When
Do people joke with me that I talk to in public?
You always say things and then I'm like, what? And then you're like, oh, I was being sarcastic.
Yeah, so apparently British people have very strict rules on how exactly your banter needs to be, or else they won't understand it.
No, it's all about inflections. It's all about the way
Exactly.
you say things.
So your sense of humor, it operates under very strict cultural and societal rules that you have to follow, or you won't get the humor.
Have you seen an improvement in your quality of life?
Yeah, I think definitely culturally it's like more acceptable to rest. Like hustle culture isn't necessarily part of the culture here. Like even in London, it's not. Like it is more than it is where we live in Blackpool. Not nearly as much as it is in the US. And also obviously like I have disabilities that have cost me a lot of money in the US to when things pop up, but also just for insurance. So here I can hopefully never go bankrupt because of a medical issue. And that takes away a lot of my like hustle and needing to make more money and as much money as I possibly can, just in case I I'm bedridden for 2 years again or whatever. So yeah, that has reduced my anxiety a lot and has allowed me to heal a lot. I think that living in America is trauma, period. That's a full sentence. And so now that I'm removed from that environment, has allowed me to heal, which I don't think I could have if I still lived in the US. That got pretty serious. Mr. Kipling is kind of like Little Debbie. It's like a brand and they have a bunch of different cakes, right?
What supermarket do you shop with?
Well, my absolute favorite supermarket is M&S. Very middle class of me. Is that funny? Why aren't you joking? Why aren't you laughing? I just made a very British joke.
Oh, were you joking? I couldn't tell.
Morrison's has very convenient home delivery that's like goes quickly, so it depends. If I'm going to in person go to a grocery store, I really like M&S. I absolutely hate Asda. I hate Asda. The lights are so intense and the floor is so uneven and I just get so overstimulated there.
Do people make fun of your accent?
No. If I were to take Josie to the US, everyone's gonna be like, you all what, mate? Like everyone's gonna be like, can you say Harry Potter? Can you say Harry Potter? I feel like it's just an American thing to do is make fun of other people's accents. No one here makes fun of my accent, but every single person will ask where I'm from. No one ever guesses where you're from here. I think that's rude. But one time someone in a drive-thru, I was like in a KFC drive-thru or something, and they were like, I love your accent. Are you Canadian? And I was like, I feel like every Canadian I know is so annoyed because everyone asks if they're from the US. The only time someone asks where I'm from, they ask if I'm from Canada. I just thought that was really funny. And I took it as a compliment. Wow. Someone assumed I was from Canada. How nice. When they ask if I'm here on vacation and I say, no, I live here, and they say, why? And I always say the weather. Hey, I do banter.
Yeah, and they never get it.
They never get it. Why don't they get it?
Because you don't say it in the right tone.
I usually go, yeah, I moved here for the weather.
Yeah, no.
That is so funny to me.
Too genuine.
Maybe slightly I kind of like the chaos where they don't know if I'm joking or not.
What surprised you most about UK homes?
UK homes, they're tiny and freezing cold. No one turns the heat on here. It's not so much that they're all really small, it's that they have a small, the floor is small, and then they just stack everything up on top of each other. A lot of vertical space, which is not ideal for me because I don't like stairs. So yeah, and like most houses, I would say well over 50% are the exact same layout, which is really interesting. I really like the like 2 living rooms and a kitchen downstairs, and then right above it is 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, you know? It's really cute. And then there's like a hallway with the stairs going up. It's adorable. I don't think beans on toast is bad. I love beans on toast. But in America, the only time anyone's ever served beans to me, it was like a side dish at a barbecue. And it's like slightly sweeter. It's like if you took beans that are served in the UK and added barbecue sauce to it, But also I ate it as a meal growing up because I grew up poor, and it was called pork and beans. It was like beans with like little pieces of hot dog cut up in it.
Have you noticed how amazingly delicious the cheese is in the UK?
Yes, cheese is really, really good here. I've only gone to one cheesemonger here, and it was amazing because they were like telling us the type of cheese and what kind of milk it's made from and how it's made and age, and they like call it by its name, right?
Does the British class system come into play at all? Or are they just like, American, you're exempt and cool?
I don't know. Like, as a neurodivergent person, I've been learning a lot about neurotypical communication. I like watched a video that said like neurotypical people can walk into a room and sense someone's social class, and I was like, that's impossible. And then I asked Josie, and she was like, yeah, duh. And I was like, I don't understand. So yeah, I'm the most terrible person you can ask. I have literally no idea. What do you think?
People think you're rich.
People think I'm upper class.
Yeah.
Because I'm American?
Yeah.
What?
But I don't know if it is because you're American. I think it's just your vibe.
I don't. This is so weird. I hate being perceived. No one perceived me. Best thing I found in the UK. I really like dry stone walls a lot. I really like little sheeps. And I like that hydrangeas are native, so they grow everywhere in the spring, and I can't wait. They're coming soon. They might not be native. Please don't quote me on that. This is just like the perfect weather for them to grow. Hot water bottles. Let me tell you, if you don't know what a hot water bottle is, brilliant. I feel like it's not necessarily British, but British people, especially British people in the north, all use them all the time. So I'm not really sure. I should probably look up where they're invented. But it's like, you know those really old cartoons that you see when someone bonks their head and then they have like this rubber thing that they put on their head and they like fill it with ice water or whatever, made of rubber or latex or whatever, really thick water bladder basically, and you boil a kettle. I know, get an electric kettle, they're great. And then you pour it into the water bottle, and then you cover it with like a sweater thing, and you can get all different colors and stuff. They replace a heating pad. They're portable. You can walk around with them. There's also something like Velcro to you. So if you have cramps or if you have any kind of, I don't know, like if you're just cold, you could just put your feet and your hands inside of them. They're so great. Not inside the water part, but you know what I mean. Anyway, they also last a really long time. You can go to sleep with one in your bed and turn your heating down at night to save on energy costs. Amazing.
What's your opinion on Blackpool?
It is the best place in the UK. Everyone should visit here. It has everything. It's close to everything. It is cheap. There's things for kids. There's things for deviants. I love it.
You find it funny that a drive is considered long in the UK if it's like 4 hours?
Yes, and there is a reason. First of all, it only takes 8 hours to drive all the way across England. So the country is tiny, so people think that that's so far. Also, gas prices are ridiculously expensive here. Also, it's expensive to even have a car here. You have to like they call it an MOT. You have to like go and check and make sure your car is safe once a year and get like certified or whatever.
Scandalous.
I know, that would never work in the US. People in the US would be like, I'm not doing that. It's ridiculous. So there's just cars driving around in the US that are just like don't have seatbelts. Like, okay, good luck. I mean, like that's illegal, but like how are they gonna find out unless you get pulled over, you know? It's great though because I really, really like driving and I'm used to driving long distances for stuff. So like when I take Josie on a 2-hour drive to take her for a birthday dinner, it's like, wow, that's so special, you know? Wow, Stevie must really love you that she drove for 2 hours. And I'm like, that's like LA traffic. Like, what? Okay, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if there's something I'm forgetting to talk about. Like, do you guys want to hear my visa story? Do you want me to go more in depth on any of these things? Let me know in the comments. Also, thank you so much to today's video sponsor, No One. And thank you so much to my beautiful, wonderful, lovely patrons for continuing to support videos like this. If you want to be part of our Patreon family, click the link in the description and we'd love to have you. Oh my goodness. Aw, so she's on camera. You see the woman behind the voice. So happy we live in the UK. You want to move to America?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to say yeah for the banter.